Hello, human peoples. You're listening to the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. Support us and gain access to great exclusive podcasts like Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Star Trek The Next Futurama, and our latest show, Spiel Boys. Head over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We do game streaming, movie nights with our patrons every Friday night, and you can even commission your own podcast about anything you want. Literally anything, within reason, and we have to do it. You are quite frankly out of excuses not to go visit patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
Halbkast mit Tom Reimann und David Bell.
Well, hello, everyone.
Hey.
Well, another episode of Hypecast. I fucked it up again. We're on strike. It's STRIKEcast.
STRIKEcast. I fucked it up too. I totally forgot.
Yeah, it's...
I'm so tired, you guys. I've been having trouble sleeping, and then also Baldur's Gate 3.
Also Baldur's Gate. That's why you're having trouble sleeping.
I didn't know that. I'd never played one of those before. I'm like, Hana's might have to intervene. It's
the older installments literally had loading screen messages that would say, "Be sure you remember to eat."
Yeah. Oh my god.
Anyways, I am your Strike co-host, Tom Ryman.
I'm the other one, David Bell.
And I'm not a Strike co-host, but I'm in the Strike in spirit. We can say that. Justin Brown. And
hey,
welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good. This is the third time I've done this show, so this is the end of the trilogy. So one of us is probably dying at the end.
It's me.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dibs.
We talked.
Kind of had my fingers crossed it was me. But...
Dibs.
Try to Han Solo my way out of this. Sorry, we'll drag your ass back in 2 movies as a ghost.
Ooh, okay, good.
Welcome. How you doing?
I'm good. This is the first day in a week that I've been home with nothing pressing on me, so that's good.
Good.
I did some sleeping, and
sleeping's good.
Now I'm here.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Before we talk about movies, what you got? Anything you want to plug? Just at the top
you want
of
to
this?
get your little pluggies out of the way at the top?
Plug it in.
Where can people find you? What are you doing?
So I make art, all sorts of it, and you can find it on my website, which is artness.justinbrown.com, and that's ARTNESS by Justin Brown.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you'd like
anything we'd know, any art we'd know about?
Well, it's mostly fan art, inspired type of fan art sort of thing, but I do all sorts really. If someone wants to commission it, you can do that.
A few things for this network, I think is what.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I did the logos for several of the Gamefully Unemployed network.
You sure
shows.
did.
Yeah.
And including this show, right?
Yeah. Hypecast.
Am I wrong?
Yeah. It's Justin. Yeah.
Well, I just missed that one. I'm sorry. You set it up, and I was looking in the bleachers.
We're doing great. We're doing so well today.
Listen, like I said, I'm super loopy, so it's gonna be. Listen, it's gonna be great. We're gonna have a great time.
I'm the perfect guest for this show, then.
Yeah. No, it's all working out.
All the loopy, man. We are. I know we have producers to thank, but I'm just gonna say before we reveal what type of trailers we're doing, I'll give a hint. I didn't recognize most of these.
This is a madhouse, man.
I thought I was losing my mind. I was like, surely I know this era. What the fuck?
Walking to the cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
I'm kind of excited because for that reason, hold on, let me look. I don't think I've seen any of the movies on today's list.
Oh,
I've
seen some of them.
I haven't seen any either.
I'm going to be talking about these like they might as well come out today. Well, like hint, they did not.
We'll get to it. There's an overall point that I think we have to make as soon as we kind of reveal what it is we're doing. But let's thank some producers first.
All right, let's thank some producers. Big thank you to @NerdNumbers.
Thank you.
Thank you to Zero Charisma.
Thank you.
Thank you to Aaron Burr, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you to AJ.
Thank you.
Thank you to Andrew Howe. Deck the halls with blood.
Thank you.
Thank you to Asking Seven.
Thank you.
Thank you to Bob Grenville.
Hey, thanks.
Thank you to Bootler. Boodleson.
Thank you so much. All right, let me jump in here. Thank you to Brian, who Tom knows.
Thank you.
Thank you to Brockway Loves the Meat Millie.
Thank you.
Thank you to Burrito wants you to drink water, hit the gym, and do the ska, because they loves y'all.
Pick it up.
Thank you to Chester's Prophet.
Thank you.
Thank you to Christopher Robert Sparks, Esquire.
Thank you.
Thank you to Dan Hackroyd.
Thanks.
Thank you to Davey, the Ghost of East Las Vegas, Francis.
Oh, yeah.
And thank you to David Knife Boot Henson.
Knife Boot. Okay. Should we just go into these and see if people can figure it out?
No, I think we better tell them. Look.
This is September of 1983.
Yes.
That month, top movies. Now, here's the thing. It took, because I swear to God, I thought I was getting Mandela affected. I was like, did I go to another dimension?
Right. Did I go back too far?
Yeah, I was like, I don't recognize any of these movies, but I know the people in them. There used to be a time, for all you youngins, that in the summer was the only time big movies came out. Right? That's got to be what's happening here.
Yeah.
So, for that reason, these are all September. These are all like movies that like came out right after the summer rush. Mm-hmm. Probably movies that studios were like, meh. Also, we're not.
Yeah. That's true. Also, the thing that I was hinting at, the kind of overall point that I think we need to make is, I think we've said this before, but like, we make too many movies. Like there's there's like hundreds of theatrical releases a year, if not thousands.
Right.
Probably not that many, but definitely hundreds of domestic American theatrical releases every year. So there's like most movies you have never heard of. So like
most movies I would argue. Like you ever watch an old movie like this and you're like, this is pretty mid, because it's they don't make them like they used to thing where it's like, no, we just remember the really good ones. We only remember
right. These are only the ones that stood the test of time, right?
Yeah, these are all probably perfectly fine movies, but my fucking God, I'm like, I don't recognize any of you fuckers. This is something else, man.
I'm excited. I want to watch all of these.
I want to watch all of these
in
except
a
for
row.
one. I also want to know, this is right before Halloween, so I think there's like more horror than you usually would get, right?
I would guess.
I guess there's only two. Yeah, there's only like two horror, I guess.
Yeah, you maybe, but like they've always kind of put out horror movies any damn time of the year. Like they'll sometimes try to peg it to Halloween, but
that's true. In fact, I don't think this. I guess these would play during Halloween. They'd still be in theaters. Let's start with the final option, which I think This is fucking nuts.
This movie is out of its mind.
I feel like they're trying to get a little Clockwork Orangey with the vibes, where it's like, it's about how hippies are bad.
Right. It's about hippies. It's a British film, which I think is where you're getting the Clockwork Orange thing from.
And there was like masks and like weird discotheque shit in the trailer, and it was like,
And Judy Davis is the head of the terrorists.
Yeah.
Loved her hair though.
It might as well be called Straw Man.
Really,
the movie.
really bowling me over every time.
It's a lot, man. This is a lot.
It's about hippies taking over, I don't know, some government building and being like, we're gonna shoot all of Parliament unless you launch a nuclear missile at some other nuclear missile silo, because that's how we get peace.
Yeah, for peace. And of course they're killing people, and they're like, oh, you want to drop a nuke for peace? So ironic how these made up people are so not peaceful. Because that's what I mean. It feels like this is like a fucking a goddamn Daily Wire produced
It really does,
like
because
movie.
it freezes. Yes. It like stops halfway through the trailer and becomes just a general trailer for the SAS, like the organization.
Yeah.
That was the best
Like
part,
they
honestly.
they get an entrance and it flashes like SAS across the
Yeah,
screen.
intermittently just animates on the screen. With the
Like,
real
it's-
funky music, too, at that part.
Yeah.
It is.
They give,
It's
like, real
also
chill
that
theme.
era where it's like they show the entire movie. Like it's
Yeah.
a 3-minute montage of the movie. That's pretty much the trailer. And it's just like, again, like these like, real straw man protesters, and then the government, all like literally the good guys are just old white dudes who are like, don't you see what you're doing is bad? And it's like, Jesus fucking
It really
Christ.
is. It's like
They're
a parade
you know who's the
of
enemy?
all of these
Young,
dusty old mummies being like,
Yeah.
these young people are going to be the death of the planet.
Yeah, it's really like transparent and
Yeah.
gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I assume all the young protesters get mowed down.
Oh.
All the young peaceniks
Yeah.
get fucking mowed down. I assume by the end of this movie, before maybe seeing the error of their ways.
These poetry writing bastards.
It's so fucking
I
gross.
copied this down. This is from the poster. This is the tagline that was on the poster to this film, the final option. In the next 60 seconds, an embassy in the hands of terrorists will be recaptured by a fighting force trained to attack without warning, kill without hesitation, and disappear without a trace. They are the final option, and their time is now. Like,
It's
that's
so
how they
amazing.
sold this movie.
The final
there's-
act. That's
Yeah.
all they're selling.
Yeah, they're selling this movie as like, they're just, you're going to watch these hippies get massacred. Like, that's what they're pushing.
And they're talking about the hippies like they're terrifying. Like, time to bring in the best we got for this loose group of teenage or
Right.
young adult people.
Yeah.
It's like, man, like, it's just such, it's propaganda.
Yeah, it is pretty. It really is. It's a Daily Wire Ben Shapiro production.
It
Yeah.
really is.
It really is just a room full of the crustiest old white dudes, and then like 20-year-old Judy Davis is like the biggest threat to the continued existence of life on the planet.
Holding a machine gun. Is,
Right? Yeah, that's what it. Yeah.
Man,
She wants
I'm looking
peace.
it up. Did it? I'm.
So no one's seen this
Oh,
one, I
God.
take it.
I have never. This is one of the ones that I've never even heard of.
Yeah, me neither.
Like, this is a real dark horse.
I did look. I
Oh.
was curious because I was like, I didn't know if this was a movie considered, good or whatever, but it's not based on everything I saw. But I wanted to see who directed it and stuff. So and my plan was to do this for all of these, but I gave up after this one. But this one's pretty interesting. He was an Englishman, obviously. He was only 36 when he directed this, which is kind of funny because if it is like a right-wing thing, it's like he's pretty young
Right?
for.
It feels like
for
he
this.
needs to be twice as old to be this mad.
And he was mostly a TV director, but the thing that jumped out was that he has two non-directorial credits where he was a second unit director or an assistant director on GoldenEye and Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Only
hell
those
yeah.
two. That's the only two movies he ever did second unit on. But that means he shot the stunts for those, I assume, right? So, which is like weird that he made this weird movie, but he also shot stunts that we probably remember, still.
Actually, that would kind of make sense because it looks like this is sort of more action leaning. But
Yeah.
that's
So
this was his resume for that, though, to get like
Yeah.
Roger Rabbit and GoldenEye.
In
I was
a-
like,
in
have
a
you seen the
later-
final option?
in a later interview, the director kind of admitted that this was a bad idea. Apparently, this movie was protested at its premiere.
No kidding.
By people saying that it painted the campaign for nuclear disarmament as terrorists, and it's like that's fucking weird.
It's also
you
the
know who-
real SAS in it.
Yeah, you know
nice.
who really liked
Yeah.
this film?
The SAS?
Besides that, Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, no, it seems like a movie
It
he'd
was
like.
requested for viewing at the White House, according to Wikipedia, and he watched it with his advisors, and they reportedly really enjoyed the film.
Oh, this is
Oh.
quite a fine picture.
In fairness, apparently Stanley Kubrick also enjoyed the film, probably more as like a filmmaker perspective. That said, Kubrick probably doesn't have I mean, he's probably like a little more like emotionally detached from what it was about, but like he's not like the most morally sound man either.
No, but he did make Doctor Strangelove, so you'd think
yeah,
that's true.
stance on.
Yeah, maybe it's a well-made movie, but
Maybe he just hates hippies.
Yeah, he could have. He really could have.
Seems like a thing Kubrick would do.
I am gonna have to watch this movie because, like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
kinda.
Maybe we're misjudging it, but everything they're doing here is like Jesus fucking Christ.
No, the SAS
obscene.
got like a Vegas introduction within the trailer, and they're played by the real life SAS. Like, I don't
Yeah.
think we're misjudging this film.
Yeah.
Well,
that's true.
it's all. This is all to say, like, if we are, then it's on them. Like they.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were fucking thinking.
Yeah.
They're like,
I did
wait, this is
notice-
about how it's bad.
That Paul Freeman is in this too.
Oh, I missed
and
him.
I don't know if he's in the trailer at all, but he's definitely in the credits, and he has a character name, so I assume he's some speaking role. But
Belloc.
since it's
Damn.
after Raiders, I wonder if this was one of the first sets he went on when everybody was like, "Oh shit, that's Belloc!" Like he's like world famous now.
Yeah.
Good thing we got him in the
Belloc.
final option.
I'm dying to talk about. I'm dying to talk about this next one. This is called Mortuary.
Crypt Keeper introduction.
Yeah, yeah.
Boys and
Where did this
ghouls.
movie? Where did this fucking movie come from?
I know this
It has
movie.
Bill Paxton in it.
Ooh.
I know this movie.
Yeah, and it's got the guy in it, right? At least in the trailer, that's the guy.
Which guy?
He's like he's in the X-Files, I believe. He's the tall, ghouly looking guy. Is that guy?
I forget who's in this movie.
He looked like God damn, I don't know his name. And the X-Files, remember the one where Scully is protecting the little kid from like the demon that like melts shit, and he kidnaps the kid, jumps out an attic window. He's real tall, spindly motherfucker.
Oh.
Like he usually plays like ghoul types.
I don't know, man.
I could have sworn that was him in the trailer, but I'm not seeing him in the
I don't know what you're talking
credits.
about.
Oh, people are screaming his name at me right now.
I know even less, so I'm sorry.
He's in like one zombie movie. And I'm just gonna, while we talk about this, try to figure out who
Congrats,
the fuck
man.
I'm
I don't know
talking
who you're
about.
talking about. No, I mean, it has Mary McDonough in it from Dances with Wolves.
Nice.
God damn.
So
And,
is the
Donnie
trailer
Darko.
indicative of how the movie looks, or is that just the trailer? Like, is it shot like a
I
regular?
don't know.
Huh?
I've never seen it. I'm
Okay.
aware of this movie. It's a movie that I've seen a lot in like the video store and shit.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Yeah. I
it seems
I
kind
didn't want to
of-
investigate further. I just was curious.
Oh yeah, it seems probably like it's probably sort of campy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's one where I'm like, this must be terrible if I haven't heard of it, but like, I don't know, it looks awesome.
It looks
Like,
awesome. Yeah,
let's
got
see,
Bill Paxton running around in there.
Yeah.
It's just
So
about.
it looks like it's
uh,
about an evil mortuary.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I'm
just
reading.
like ghoulish shenanigans at a mortuary.
That tracks.
I'm not even sure. Like Bill Paxton looks like he works at the mortuary and is like an evil mortuary guy. But it doesn't look like I'm not sure how supernatural this is.
I don't know.
It might
All
not
I know
be. It's
is
rated R.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch it and find out.
I'm so fucking
Yeah.
excited.
We're gonna watch this
so
movie.
it's
Like-
about, let's see, yeah. Her father drowned in a swimming pool, but she believes he was murdered. There's a sinister hooded figure following and harassing her. Links it to the mortuary. Yeah, that's it. That's all I know.
Sweet, sold. This trailer was awesome.
It's pretty fucking great.
It reminds me of like Waxwork.
Yeah. That's I haven't seen that movie, but I know that.
Oh, dude, we
What-
gotta watch Waxwork.
What's kind of wild about this movie is like the poster. I'm like, surely that's the thing that's driving me nuts. it's not uncommon for me not to have seen a movie, but I don't even recognize these movies.
Right, yeah, because I
like
know
the
we were
poster,
hanging
I'm
out
like,
in the
surely
same
this
area
would...
at the video store. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, why didn't I see this?
I don't know, man. That maybe this one just missed your local video store.
My little peepers or something.
Yeah, your little peepers just flitted right over it.
Yeah. Speaking of, I guess, more shit that I didn't know about, Eddie and the Cruisers.
You've never heard of Eddie and the Cruisers?
I've heard of Eddie and the Cruisers, but I didn't really know what it is.
Exactly. I was the same way. I was like, does this movie have a legacy, or I just randomly remember it for some reason?
Is it just like a reference that people make?
I might have seen it at some point, but I don't I don't know what time of movie this was. They're not like a real band, right? That's a real stupid question.
No. It's based on a book.
This has apparently got Joey Pants and Tom Berenger in it. So that's cool.
Yeah, and Michael Paré, Dave, from Streets of Fire.
Oh, you're right.
He's the titular Eddie.
Son of a bitch. The only thing that just bummed me out was the realization that this is the exact same movie as Lords of Chaos, essentially, which is like a movie that takes place 20 years ago about like a doomed band. I just mean in terms of
terms of the
how
timetable.
old we are. Yeah,
Yes,
I was like, look at this olden 60s, and I realized like, fuck, the 60s is the 90s is our new 60s. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna. I'm gonna hit you with that even harder when we get further down the list, because there's the number one movie on this list is is rife with that. I don't know. I definitely didn't realize that this movie was about like the singer possibly having faked his death or maybe being a ghost.
Yeah, I got lost I lost the plot in the trailer, so I was like, I don't know what this is.
It's about apparently a newsman learning about a rock band, and that it's the idea is that the leader might still be alive.
Right.
So it's searching for
it's like a faux documentary.
Yes.
About the band.
Yeah, that actually sounds
like
really
this,
good.
This looks interesting. Like I want to watch this movie, and I've always heard about Eddie and the Cruisers.
It's hard. I'm not a big fan of like music movies, but this does look interesting. I think it's because music movies tend to like kind of jerk off a little bit about the music. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Where they're like, also let's just listen to the music, and I'm like, I don't care about the music.
Sure, Dave.
But that makes sense,
right?
right?
In like a martial arts movie, they just stop every little bit and jerk off about the martial arts.
Exactly. No, I mean, yeah.
I mean, yes, you are technically correct. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like if I don't like the music and I don't like music, then it's just,
it's a tall task. Yeah. If you don't like the music, like that's why Cats is such a hard sell for me.
Oh man, Cats.
It's all that craziness plus I don't really like the music.
Oh yeah, they're like, we're gonna be batshit. Also, here's the worst songs you've ever heard and one of the best songs you've ever heard.
Here's one really great song and just a bunch of ass.
Yeah, just a nightmare fucking music.
Anyway.
God damn.
So Eddie and the Cruisers.
Yeah.
Michael Paré may be dead, but maybe
be a
not.
ghost. Yeah.
Yeah. This looks good. It's so funny talking about all the ones like this because I'm guaranteed there are people listening who've seen these movies who are losing their fucking minds. So that's like guessing what they're about.
Yeah.
But that I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Can't believe they don't know what Mortuary looks like cinematography wise.
Yeah.
They don't know what vibe the poster was going for.
Right. Now this next movie really fucked with me. Beyond the Limit or The Honorary Consul, depending on where it came out. Mm-hmm. This is another one I was like, what? How did I miss this? It's Richard Gere, Michael Caine, and Bob Hoskins, and like a political / love thriller. Mm-hmm, where at least in the trailer, it's just Richard Gere leering at the same woman from various distances. Did you guys notice that?
Oh yeah,
yeah. It was like watching the beach scene from Jaws.
Yeah, it is. I hope he's in like a relationship with this woman.
It seems like it's a love triangle between this woman, him, and Michael Caine, and then political intrigues. It's taking place in I think Argentina.
Okay, so I had a question.
Yeah.
Obviously, you picked these trailers because it's September, 23. So it's around whatever it is, 50 years or 40 years. I'm sorry.
40 years. Ouch.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But I was like, part of me thinks maybe Tom picked him because Michael Caine's like an inside thing we both love to talk about, and in this one he's cosplaying 1982 Jimmy Buffett, and I was like, Tom picked this for me.
That mustache.
He's incredible. So
actually, no, I didn't. This was a Dave idea to do September of '83.
Well, yeah. That's the current month.
Yeah, that's what
We are
I
in.
figured. I figured
Yeah.
it was very simple, but I thought maybe Tom got in there and was like, hey, include this one.
It's
Just to make
exactly
Justin laugh
40
for 12
years
minutes,
ago.
which I did.
Yeah.
Just that mustache. Oh man, this is mustache era Kane. It's like
Did
it's like better than his mustache. Well, it's different. It's not the same mustache from Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
No,
It's
Did
like
I
it's like a
see,
slum in it mustache. Did you see what?
Yeah. No, I was looking it up, and it is in fact. So she's married to Michael Caine, the woman, and then
Okay.
she stoops Richard Gere, and then he has to like choose between them when like a political unrest happens with rebels. I was gonna ask, did I see boobs in this trailer?
Maybe.
I
Yeah,
didn't,
because
but
I'm rewatching the trailer on IMDb, and there are absolutely boobs in that trailer.
I think it's a British
And-
film. So
I was about to say the British. When I went to London, there were just boobs and billboards,
Yeah.
and it was like, this is
wow,
better.
paradise. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it was just no big deal, and that's cool, Like they were like, fucking whatever, man. Real chill.
yeah, they've got other issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This looks like a good movie. This doesn't look like a watch with your friends movie.
No, this looks like a movie like Casablanca almost, but like
Yeah, but like
I
apparently it
feel
doesn't-
like there's a more apt comparison. But like, yeah, it's one of those movies where you're gonna sit there and just be like really engrossed in a trauma, like a grown.
It also it's got real mid reviews, at least on IMDb. So, like, well, that makes sense. What we were talking about, like, why haven't I heard of this?
Right.
Probably because it wasn't very good, but not necessarily bad
Richard
either.
Gere makes a lot of real mid political thrillers. I've noticed.
Yeah.
And like the ones we grew up with, we love, but it's like I'm sure this is like fine.
Yeah.
Can't trust the Rotten Tomatoes score because
Yeah.
they just broke that wide open.
Yeah, we should talk about that in stories maybe, but like
We should. I didn't include it, but I didn't include it only because it's mostly Vulture saying a bunch of stuff that I know I already knew, but
right,
we
it's
can
it's
still talk about it.
it's already been a thing, and I was just gonna anyway.
Yeah. Any other things to say about Beyond the
This would be
Limit
the first
/ the
of the ones we watched so far. This would be the first one I picked to watch, honestly, just for
Oh,
that
wow.
mustache.
Oh yeah, I mean that is a mustache ride. How could she look? Richard Gere is great, but come on,
He looks so
Michael
smooth in this.
Yeah, with a
Michael
mustache,
with
Yeah.
a mustache.
wearing
He
like
looks
linen
incredible.
suits.
Yeah, and then Bob Hoskins is there.
And then Bob Hoskins
Yeah.
briefly. Bob Hoskins showing up at the end of the trailer like a jump scare.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that they announced the two lead actors' names twice. Like they reminded you twice who was in the
Oh,
movie
yeah.
in voiceover. I love when the old trailers did that. It's like, did you forget from 80 seconds ago?
God, it's
Richard
amazing.
Gere's in
Old
this.
trailers. This
By the
is
way,
one of the.
Richard Gere.
There are good. Old trailers can be good, but I think this era sucks for trailers.
Yeah,
I think these
I
are
agree.
genuinely, just dog shit.
Late 70s, early 80s were kind of bad for posters too, where like movie posters, like the one a lot of them were guilty of this, but my go-to example is always The Breakfast Club, where there's like 2 paragraphs of text on the poster.
Right.
It's like,
what
Jesus,
is-
I'm not. It's like a book jacket, like
it's
I
like
have a
school
question
made a
because-
poster.
yeah. Is this
What I don't know the answer to this. What is the ideal time for trailers? Because there's always shitty trailers.
I think
And-
late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, that's what I was leaning, but I'm not certain because even those trailers were. I mean, trailers are just kind of.
It's either that or it's way back with like the Alfred Hitchcock Psycho trailer where it's just Alfred Hitchcock fucking talking shit to you for like 2.5 minutes. It's like, hey, here's a noose because I think nooses are spooky. Like,
I love that era. I wish everything was advertised that way.
Yeah.
With just the owner of the company just asking you to buy the thing.
Yeah, or they just get Vincent Price out there to talk about bats or something.
Yeah.
My newest film has a lot of bats in it, like this.
All right, we absolutely have to talk about this next one because this movie looks fucking out of control.
Oh hell yeah!
This is called Nightmares, from the director, speaking of Michael Caine, of Jaws: The Revenge.
Mm-hmm. Joseph Sargent.
He
also made Hamburger Hill, which is a good film.
Yeah. And Jaws: The Revenge, which is a good film too.
It's a film.
It's a good film.
It's a movie.
We can all agree it's a film.
Yeah. This looks fucking out of control. Like, it's digital?
Yeah, it's like lasers.
It's so apparently it's an anthology, which explains why it looks like a million things in the trailer.
Yeah.
And one of the stories is about Emilio Estevez getting sucked into a video game.
Yeah, which this is before Tron.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same year.
You're
wait,
right.
No, wait. Tron is. This
No,
is 83.
Tron's 84.
Is it? I thought Tron was 82.
I could have sworn.
I think we're messing this up, Dave. I think we're making
The
asses of ourselves.
The writer of 3 of these
You
wrote.
pooched it, Dave.
82.
Holy shit.
82, you son of a bitch.
Tron is 82. Wow.
Yeah.
So it ripped off Tron.
Yeah, probably.
All right. The writer of this did, or at least the writer of 3 of the segments, wrote Last of the Mohicans and Fear with Mark Wahlberg. So.
Well, there's
Take
a big
that.
there's a huge difference between those 2 films. I'd like to point out.
Yeah.
Is that his co-author on Last of the Mohicans was James Fenimore Cooper.
Sure. But also mainly him.
But primarily that guy.
Yeah.
Did the legwork. Let's
The
be
writer
honest.
of Nightmares.
He brought his fear expertise into that script.
He also wrote something called The Last Chase, which I'm just looking at. It looks out of control, from 1981.
I mean, if it's anything like this trailer is bug fuck. I love 80s horror trailers like this.
It looks like there was a tremor in it. Like there was like exploding shit out of the ground.
Yeah,
and
they do the high beams story is in this movie.
Yeah.
It seems pretty chill, Dave. We should probably watch this.
Terra and Topanga, The Bishop of Battle.
It's Lance Henriksen.
Let's see.
Lance
The
Henriksen is that
Benediction
bishop.
and Night of the Rat. Those are the 4 segments. Yeah, we have to watch it. It's got Emilio Estevez. It's got Lee Ving in it. Son of a bitch. What is Lee Ving doing in movies? Get out of there. You get one movie
Richard
and it's
Masur
Clue.
Clark from The Thing.
Yeah.
Watch Clark.
This is fascinating. Oh my God. Veronica Cartwright's in it.
Yeah, she's in the trailer. She's the mom in
Yeah.
that segment.
This is Flea's in it. Of course he's in it. How could he not be? There was a rule. It was a law in the 80s.
I didn't know Flea was
you
in
had to
movies
have-
this early.
Yeah, you
me
had to
neither.
have Flea in it.
Because he didn't make the original Back to the Future. He doesn't show up until part 2.
Doesn't matter. It's a law. You have to have Flea in movies.
Man.
He's in Suburbia, remember? So,
I thought Suburbia was even later.
oh, you might be right. No, he's younger in Suburbia because he was first drummer for the band Fear, which, that makes sense. Lee Ving's in it.
Oh.
So he was like, can my friend Flea be in it? I don't know. This was a weird era.
Yeah,
But
they
I
just they just
believe-
put Lee Ving in movies.
Yeah, in very few movies. Suburbia was 83 as well. So yeah, this is. It seems like there might be like a segment with like punks, and they were just like, let's get actual punk bands. And this was like where Fear was as famous as Fear was ever gonna get.
He was in few movies, but we did mention one of them, Dave. We mentioned Streets of Fire earlier.
Lee Ving's in that?
Yeah, he plays Willem Dafoe's little toady.
Jesus,
Like his
fucking
little
Christ.
second in command. Yeah, Lee Ving is in that movie.
Lee Ving is in 31 movies. That's too many movies. That is. I mean, they're counting
it's a
like
shocking
his.
number of movies.
They're counting him being on Saturday Night Live when they got kicked off. He was in Flashdance, according to this IMDb. What do you put Lee Ving in Flashdance for?
Why'd they put
What
him
are you
in
gonna do with that?
Clue?
He was in a movie in 2021. What is he doing? Get out of there, Lee Ving.
I've never heard of Lee Ving until this discussion, and
Oh, okay. He's like
I just googled a picture of him. I don't recognize him either. So it's
he's like I really like the band Fear. He's kind of a shitty guy. He's like this is a mean way to put it. He's like Discount Danzig, is how I picture him.
all right.
It's Kmart
But-
Danzig.
Fear is not the Misfits. It's nothing like the Misfits, but like he's kind of like dark hair. Like I mean, if you remember Clue, Mr. Body, the guy who gets killed in Clue, is Lee Ving.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's a good reference
That
for
helps.
you.
Well, I mean, I know what Clue is, but I can't envision the guy who gets killed. But yeah.
Right. His band was the only band to be, I believe, kicked off of SNL halfway through their set. They they're a fun band, but like it's just like he's such a weird little like pop culture Bigfoot where you're
Okay.
like, what are you doing there, leaving? Why are you here?
Yeah, I think he was like friends with Belushi, so that's why he was on SNL. I think he was just friends with people, so he wound up in movies.
I think
Yeah.
that's it. He's just in the right parties,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Him and Flea.
Yeah, and when
and yeah,
Anthony
Flea got his
Kiedis
start.
and Flea show up in movies later, it's just because
Yeah.
they're hanging around in Los Angeles.
Right. And Flea got his start, in the band Fear. Brainstorm. First of all, hilarious name because I was like, Brainstorm, that's cool.
Oh hell
cool,
yeah! And
future-
also, like the VHS looks exactly like you're picturing.
Oh yeah. And I was
yeah.
like, that's such a cool combination of words. And I forgot that brainstorm is like an actual term for a while. I was like, oh, that's so cool. Where did this movie come from?
I don't know. This is one that I also remember seeing
I
in the
don't
video
remember
store a lot.
I don't remember it at all.
Yeah, I've never heard
man.
of this myself.
It's
Yeah.
it's Christopher Walken and Nurse Ratched trying to unlock the secrets of the mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the trailer is unclear what they're trying to accomplish or what they're doing.
Well, they're basically
it
doing
looks
Strange
like
Days.
Strange Days, yeah.
where you can record somebody else's brain waves basically and let somebody else experience it. So it's like experiencing
Yeah.
what it's like to be. And then like weird like flatliners type shit starts happening and altered states type shit as well. It
And
seems
Uncle Ben's there, right?
Uncle Ben sure as hell is there. Uncle Ben plugs into the Strange Days. It's my favorite part of the trailer. He puts a little Strange Days headset to like get an eyeful of what they've been working on, and it's immediately just boobs. And then it cuts to a reaction shot of Uncle Ben going like, "Oh yeah, boobs, just what I ordered." It's my favorite part of the trailer.
Oh yeah.
He must
It,
love all the billboards.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the boob beer. I just realized this is the last film of Natalie Wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, she died making this movie.
Yeah,
maybe-
Christopher Walken was on the boat.
I know. There's a whole fucking thing around
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
and it didn't occur to me that this is that film. Damn. It's also directed by Douglas Trumbull, who is he retired where I'm from in Western Mass, and that's why his last credit is the man who killed Hitler and also the Bigfoot. But he is best known for doing the effects in 2001: A Space Odyssey. You know the ones. And Blade Runner. Like, he was a fucking special effects master.
Yeah.
And that alone makes me go, well, shit, I gotta see this movie.
Kind of, yeah.
I don't care how stupid it is.
I
It
love
looks like
And
it's
it looks-
probably fine. I don't.
Yeah.
titles at the end like were actually digital, like it was early days, like 3D animated, or was that updated titles for the?
So again, Douglas Trumbull is kind of
Right.
that was his thing, right?
Yeah.
So like it's probably the latest. I don't know. Yeah, I don't actually know how he did that though.
Yeah, I don't know, because 82 they did have like digital, like they could do some effects, but not go to real stuff. But yeah, that was the part because I kind of got lost with the plot in the trailer.
Yeah.
And at the end, I was like, oh wow, look, they look like modern titles almost. But
I know. Yeah, I also kind of lost the plot. Yeah, I think this is Tron era, right? Where like the idea of CGI was actually a thing we could start doing.
Yeah.
And so I it's hard to tell because Tron is of course famously mostly animated.
Yeah.
So like CGI was still here was like a wild process. I know when they were making Tron, they literally had to like just punch in numbers on a grid and then like wait a month and then get to see if it worked the thing they wanted, and they're like, ah damn, let's do it again. Sounds awful. But yeah,
But it all paid off.
It makes sense because it's also Trumbull did not direct much after this for a very long time, and that checks out. In fact, I think he's only done short films after this. And I think
Brainstorm did him in, huh?
Yeah, well, he did Silent Running, and then he did Brainstorm. He was like, this seems fun. And then, someone died, and he was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm good. Yeah, I got to see this, though. Should we talk about Deathstalker?
Dude, we should definitely talk about Deathstalker.
The only note I wrote down was "fuck yes." So yeah, we can talk about it.
Deathstalker is the VHS box for this movie is kicks ass. It's the stupidest nude barbarian shit you can think of from the 80s.
That's what it is. It's like there was so many of these being made. I feel like
this is like
in the 80s.
This was, I think, kind of like the upper tier because a lot of the real shitty like knockoff barbarian movies use footage from Deathstalker and from like one or two other films, but like I know you've seen scenes from this movie if you watch the most recent Mystery Science Theater on Netflix, because the Wizards of the Lost Kingdom movie, one of them, uses footage from Deathstalker.
I think what it is, that makes it successful as an effect movie.
Yeah.
But like clearly no one remembers the movie itself. Yeah. Although I'm now looking and seeing there's at least 4 of these.
This is a cult film. 4. Like this has the trailer you shared was for the Scream Factory like special edition DVD they were putting out.
Oh, I mean, this was again number 4.
Yeah, like people were watching this. Number
film.
4 in 1983.
Yeah, and I understand.
Return of the Jedi came out this year.
Oh my God. Yeah, people were like, just give it all. Give me whatever crap you got. Oh my God. Yeah, this is about a lone warrior named Deathstalker is sent by a witch on a quest to find a sword, a chalice, and an amulet. Pick one. Pick one, movie. 3 MacGuffins. Come on.
It's an epic quest, dude. You have to. There's multiple pieces. You got to assemble them, and then you get the sword of power.
Defeat a sorcerer, Munkar.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
They're just making up words.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm obligated to watch this, right?
Right. That's the other big takeaway from this is like there's like 6 movies we have to watch immediately.
Yes, we don't have a choice.
We really don't.
Tonight, when this comes out, we're gonna have to watch at least 2 of these.
Particularly this one we're about to talk about.
Well, fun fact, Tom, we're gonna have to watch this either way. This is on a list of movies that we have to watch in the future. This is Revenge of the Ninja. This is so the thing I flagged is in the trailer they say he was, quote, trained in the most exquisite subtleties of combat. VO says that as he is literally catching an arrow in his teeth. It's like, yes, subtleties.
Later, they show 2 ninjas fighting on top of a skyscraper, and the VO says, because only a ninja can kill a ninja.
Yeah, takes a ninja to get a ninja.
Obviously, yeah.
If you ever have ninja. Right, if you ever, on your farm, if you got ninjas in the barn, you got to send in another, a ninja to clear that out.
Exactly, yeah. This is about, a guy and his kid who are just beating ass.
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
beating ass all
It's
over
like
the
Lone
place.
Wolf and Cub kind of.
Apparently, it's about
Yeah.
They immigrate into America, and they have to, according to this, open a doll shop that is filled with heroin in the dolls.
Yeah.
And they're being used basically to smuggle heroin. And then it says, when his friend betrays him, Cho must prepare for the ultimate battle. Don't know what that's going to be, but I bet it's awesome.
I bet he's gonna fight a ninja on top of a roof for
Yep.
the
Yeah.
for the for the rights to those heroin profits.
So you need to look at the poster because there are some things I need to talk about. So, okay, okay. So the tagline: 400 years of training in the art of sudden death unleashed on 20th century America. I'm going to put in the doc we're working at on the poster, so you can click on that and look at it, because it is the ninja jumping with the background of a city. He has, I believe, 2 swords on his body, and then like a sickle. He is in his right hand holding. It's not a throwing star. It looks more like a caltrop, because it's like it's like a 3D throwing star, you know.
Right. Yeah.
And he is preparing to throw it. In front of him, there are 3 more in the
So
air.
he's already thrown 3 of them.
Yeah, but he's winding up, so he's going so fast. And I'm just burying the lead because in his left hand, he is firing a gun straight down, just with the most, like, just coolest face.
It almost
Just-
looks like a flare. Like it's.
Yeah.
Is it a gun or a stick of dynamite?
I think he's firing a gun. And
Yeah,
that's
it could
if
be
that
either.
is a gun, it's amazing because that means a ninja was like, you know what? Guns.
Yeah.
And
They're
this-
right there.
Another important detail, Dave. There's a knife in his boot.
Yeah, I was about to say I didn't notice the knife at first.
There is. He is just murdering everybody.
He's like surfing. He's like surfing through the sky.
And I
Yeah.
think he has regular throwing stars on his wrist above the gun.
He sure
You're
does.
right.
He sure does.
The sky is red, presumably because he killed the sun.
Right. He stabbed the sun to death.
Yeah, there's no way that sun's
That's
surviving.
God's blood in the sky. Look at in his
Yeah.
face. He has the most furious fucking eyes.
He
He is
like
about to
lost his
beat
mind.
so much ass. You look at those
I know.
eyes.
I fear for whoever those eyes
Not
are
a
looking
single ass in the city below will be left unbeaten this night.
at. This looks incredible.
This movie looks like the greatest film ever made.
Yeah, it might be.
It seemed like the trailer was like it's the first time in America it's being in theaters. Was that was the vibe they gave?
They
at the
did
end,
say
was
we're
like,
bringing it to America, but I'm not
Yes.
sure if they're just talking about the star Sho Kasugi.
okay. Yeah, I couldn't
Yeah,
tell.
he's
Because
been in a
they
few
did say
things.
like we're bringing the excitement to America. So at first I did, I thought this was just like a Japanese movie that was being imported.
Yeah. This guy has since, I assumed, retired. His last film was Ninja Assassin, another movie that definitely was like, let's be awesome, right? He was also in Blind Fury. So
Hell yeah.
basically, he was like, my whole career is going to be in awesome movies.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome movies with swords in them.
Yeah. He was also a choreographer on The Scorpion King.
Okay.
The Scorpion King. But this looks so fucking hype. I can't wait to watch it.
One of the hypest trailers we've ever watched.
Yeah,
I love
absolutely.
the narrator. I was like, I hope he's in the movie too, like narrating every scene.
Yeah, just following
with this
him
energy.
around.
Yeah.
Because I
mean,
want to see it anyway, but he really kicked it up a notch. But it's just like
really
a
did.
ninja. It's like, yeah, I gleaned that from the story.
Yeah.
I wanted to
Holy
see him like
shit.
crouched next to it because they introduced his son as 6-year-old martial arts champion. So I want to see him crouched next to the kid with a microphone doing that
Yeah.
when they introduce him.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Man, how much ass is that kid gonna beat?
Oh God, he better kill at
Is he
least
gonna
one
beat?
person.
Is he gonna beat kid ass? Is he gonna beat up other kids, other ninja
Ooh.
kids?
It might. It was 83. It might be in there.
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
It was a good year for ninja kids.
Hell yeah. This next one is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, educating
Interesting
Rita.
film. Yeah, I didn't know about this film. It
Oh,
was
really?
apparently number
Okay.
2. Yeah, and it makes sense because it's the director of Alfie, who also did 2 Bond movies. No, sorry, 3 Bond movies? I'm seeing Moonraker, The Spy Who Loved Me, You Only Live Twice.
That's 3.
That is 3. And that's fucking Weasley.
Yeah.
That's Molly Weasley. It's her first film according to this trailer, and it seems to be about
it is her.
Yeah, it's a professor who's teaching a sussy young lady, and I think they're gonna fuck, and I don't think that's appropriate.
Yeah.
For them to do.
The first
I'm pretty
note I
sure
had,
she's younger than him.
The first note I had was, "Oh boy," because this was like after 2 minutes of this, I was like, I need to take a walk around the block because I don't know what they were doing with this.
I know,
mean,
and
I do
it's
know
like-
what they were doing, but yeah.
She's like the trailer's like she's an unruly broad, and he's gonna tame her with his dick and his brain. That's the vibe I was getting. I mean, that they don't literally say that.
No, this is. I think this is his first Oscar nom.
Oh wow!
They both were nominated. They didn't win, but it's more like not quite My Fair Lady, but it's more like shit. I had it a second ago, but they don't end up together. It's
good.
It's kind of like it's
an actual mentorship.
Yeah,
it sounds like.
It ends lost in translation.
Okay.
Well, that one's still like bony, right? Is it bony?
There's like I think there's like there's definitely romantic vibe there, but it does not end up. They do not end up exploring it,
consummating it.
If that makes sense. They part ways at the end. Spoilers
That's
for this
probably
film.
good. Yeah.
But it's more about like she goes there to sort of broaden horizons, and he's kind of like given up on the academic community, and it's a pretty classic like, you mentor the person, and now they don't. She's like gets like really into the society that he was kind of like really bummed about. So does that make like it's
yeah?
Oh
it's
yeah.
like, I don't need. It's a very tropey storyline that they do a lot now. Where it's like it seems like she's checked into this sort of bohemian lifestyle that he was sort of burned out on. It's like, oh, she's too cool for me now, doesn't need me anymore.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, I assumed this was like a good movie, you know?
Yeah.
I assume it's like, what's that fucking movie? Is it called Shirley Valentine? Am I thinking of that movie?
That title sounds familiar, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Let me Google it. This was another movie that was like hot shit when it came out, and I think it's about a British housewife who goes to Greece and like has a fling, is the idea, and it's kind of it's a different it's kind of that it's a different. I watched it weirdly recently, and it was like pretty fucking good. And it's one of those where it's like at the time there was like Oscar noms and shit, and it was quite a good movie, and then like. It just sort of vanishes because like movies like that it's not Star Wars, it's not it's not like a particularly like memorable plot or like one that sticks around, but it was like when it came out everybody talked about it and it got its awards, and this kind of gives me that same vibe, where it's like I'm sure people love this. I bet it's very good.
Yeah, knowing that it's not like a romantic thing makes Tom, you reeled me back in on this one. Like,
I mean, there's the tension is there, but it's
right. Yeah.
I just realized Shirley Valentine, same writer as this movie, Educating Rita. Yeah, so it's like, oh, all right, that all checks out. That's why it reminds me of that movie. I kind of want to see this now.
Yeah.
It was a big deal when it came out.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell. The title
mustache.
is like structured. That title structure has been used a lot, where it's like someone. So I couldn't remember if I've heard of this or I just heard of something similarly titled and never saw that either.
Yeah, Michael Caine does he have a beard? I feel like he doesn't have a mustache.
No,
he has a beard.
He's got a beard.
It's close enough.
He's all drunk. He's all drinking all the time.
Right,
hiding bottles of booze throughout his office because he hates
Michael
being
Caine.
a teacher so much.
He was hot shit during this time.
Really was.
Everybody wanted a piece of that cane, that sweet cane.
That candy cane.
He's kind of he's kind of hot shit now, I guess.
Yeah,
He's always been.
he's had a long career
Resurgence.
with many periods of
Well, he's
popularity.
also he's like the only person who's been nominated for an Oscar in like 5 different decades or something like that.
That makes
That's
sense.
probably true. Yeah.
I
I'm
forget the
looking at his
exact number.
career.
It's something like that.
Yeah, his first thing was in the 40s. He has just been he is since the 40s just been consistently working, and just been everybody loves him. Just he's everywhere. Holy shit! Look at this career. He has only 174 movies. I honestly expected more.
Yeah.
No, you're right. He's 60s, 70s, 80s, twice in the 80s, 90s, and in the aughts. He had.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I was wrong. Educating Reader was his 3rd nomination. He'd been previously nominated for Alfie and Sleuth. That's a good ass movie.
In England, Michael Caine can go into a bar and start a fire, and nobody will they'll just say, "Oh, I guess let's let it burn."
I think he could probably do that in America too.
Yeah, that's true.
If I'm around,
I'd
he's
let him
definitely
light me on
allowed.
fire.
Yeah. If I'm there, he's allowed.
Yeah,
Hey, let him do it.
yeah. He'd be all brutish. He'd
He's
say,
a
"Terribly
knight."
sorry," and then he'd
I'll just
okay.
need to sit far to this table. It's all I need to do right now. Just let him do that. He looks so sad.
Yeah, he's such a little mopey little guy. So what could possibly be the number one movie in September of 1983? We're going to tell you. That movie is called The Big Chill,
It's The Big Chill.
written and directed by Lawrence Kasdan.
Lawrence Kasdan.
Holy
Yes.
moly.
This
He's
is
just doing it all.
This is a boomer ass movie. This is
Yes, it is.
This is
They were like the hot
boomer
young
on
stars
Wii.
of the 80s, and I was like, Glenn
Yeah.
Close.
Yep. Yeah. It's. I'm like, this VHS loomed in my household because it was one of those movies I wasn't allowed to watch. Capital letters. So I was like obsessed with it because when you tell somebody they're not allowed, tell a kid they're not allowed to watch something, like, well, why? What's it about? And it's it's just because it's about just like a boring adult stuff. Like, it's a lot of navel gazing on Wii. This is like a 1980s version of a Judd Apatow drama.
That's what it. Yeah, that's
Okay.
what it looked like.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Why is it called The Big Chill?" And I concluded, I guess they're chilling out.
Well, Lawrence
and it's
Kasdan,
like-
I think, just explained it as like it's that period where you're coming down out of your 20s and you're sort of cooling off, like about feeling idealistic or about feeling like you really are gonna conquer the world, and you're sort of settling into the reality that, well, I guess I'm actually not gonna do most of the things that I wanted to do.
Right, you're just finding your actual place in the world.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what, I haven't seen this fucking movie, but the synopsis is that it's just former college friends gather together for a reunion, and
Yeah.
I can see that being
Yeah.
pretty fun. It's
This
got
is a
fucking
blind
Jeff
spot
Goldblum.
for me too. I've never seen it, even though I feel like I should have, but I'm aware
Yeah.
of it. I just never seen it.
It's kind
It
of
looks good.
It's not bad. It's
It's
charming.
got Tom Berenger.
It's not bad. It's weird. There's some like weird plot points in it, but
Does it get kind of weird?
not like super weird. But there's
Fucking
anyway.
Kasdan's on top of the world here.
Yeah.
Like, he had this year, he also got Return of the Jedi. So these are 2 number 1 movies in a year.
He was
he's
he was hot shit,
unstoppable.
and he'd done Raiders the year before, I
And
think.
Empire. And
Yeah.
Empire the year before that. Yeah.
Yeah, and God, he's got Dreamcatcher ahead of him.
Yep.
Like on the horizon.
Man,
Lawrence
if only
Kasdan.
we could go back and tell him, just hang in there. You think
Yeah.
you think you're
Dream-
feeling success now, the sweet summer sun of success. Wait until 2003's Dreamcatcher.
Dreamcatcher.
Train's never late. Don't worry.
Yeah. He also did Mumford.
People are
So
going to
that's
buy
kinda-
tickets to your movies to watch a cartoon before it and then leave.
Right.
It's had the Animatrix short at the beginning.
Yeah, it did. Good short.
Yeah, The Big Chill it's fine. It's a movie I'm fascinated by because it's like I said, it's like an Apatow movie, but for the boomer generation.
Right.
So it's like interesting to watch it as like I don't know. I'm just obsessed with boomer nostalgia in through a specific lens.
it's wild
Right.
to see like Jeff Goldblum. I mean, I know young Jeff Goldblum, but like young, energetic, like William Hurt and Glenn Close.
Yeah.
I was like, that's so fucking weird to watch.
That's exactly the thing I thought. I was like, I'd never considered these people as being any younger than like 55 my whole life.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
What's
it's weird to
funny
see
is
him.
that no, it's just like the weird thing for me is, and it's like it's our dumb brains. Kevin Kline young, I've accepted. I've seen him young.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't know he was young with William Hurt.
Right. They're the
It's
same
like, I guess-
generation. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I guess they would be
Seems
young
wrong.
together, wouldn't they? Yeah.
William
does
Hurt just
seem
has
wrong.
old guy face.
He does.
That's true. Yeah.
And Tom Berenger feels older in this. Like
He
the
does.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm super curious
He has
about
a,
this
he's a
fucking
Magnum
movie.
PI mustache. He plays a TV actor in it, so in
Ah.
a Magnum PI-esque show. So it's very deliberate, but
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah,
It's
I'm
a
gonna have to
movie.
watch this. Yeah, it is. Oh, Kevin Costner's in this movie according to IMDb.
sort of. He's the dead guy. They're all gathering together because a friend of one of their friends
he
killed
in-
himself.
Is he in a flashback?
There was a flashback, and you also the opening of the movie is a montage of his body being dressed in a suit for the funeral as each character is receiving the phone call delivering the news of his death.
So they're like, all right,
so
Cos.
Costner's body is the one that's being dressed, I
Yeah,
believe.
they're like, Cos, just lay here, and we'll give you some money.
Kasdan got him back though in a couple of years later in Silverado.
Oh yeah, that's true.
He's one of the
like,
main
lay here,
characters.
and you'll get the good later.
Yeah, and then I'll give you
Little
Silverado.
guy, kiddo, you'll be going to great places. Yeah, I guess he wasn't like hot shit yet. I'm
No,
looking
he
at
hadn't
his
been in
career.
anything yet.
Yeah, it was one of his first movies.
Yeah, yeah.
That's weird to me.
Anyway.
Damn. Sorry, now I'm just looking at Costner's career.
And,
Oh, well,
and
that's
if only
it
we
for-
could whisper to him, just you wait, in just a few short decades, you're gonna walk out into a tornado and
Yeah.
save a dog.
It
Yeah,
confused
you'll be
everybody
Mr.
on
Brooks.
Earth
Yeah.
Even though your son is Superman, he could easily save you.
without
Yeah.
anyone seeing it. Yeah.
He could swallow the tornado.
Terrible.
That's a stupid movie.
Should
I
we,
think it's all the
thank some more-
trailers.
Yeah, let's thank some more producers.
Let's do it.
Big old thank you to Deborah's awesome. Barbara's great, and cancer can go to hell. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to Dracula, the bus driving vampire.
Ugh.
Thank you to Driftless yelled hype as he burst through a window.
They did.
I hope that's a real story. Thank you to E.T., the extravagant terrestrial. Thank you. Thank you to Evil Ed 209.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Exploding Runes.
Thank you.
Thank you to Funky J. Mostly comes out at night. Mostly.
Thank you.
Thank you to Heathcliff's Helping Handfuls.
Thank you.
Thank you to ImpossibleWorlds.net. Read issue 2 and keep sci-fi alive.
Thank you.
Thank you to James Cameron's Prolapse Locomotive.
Choo choo. All right, let me jump in here. Thank you to Jay the Crow Baron. Cow.
Thank you.
Thank you to Chris Shanovich.
Thanks.
Thank you to Look Mime on a podcast.
Good for you.
Thank you to Mabel. Step on me. Step on me. Thank you to Mackenzie.
Thank you.
Fuck shuffling with Willem Dafoe's confusingly large dick. Chill.
Thank you.
Thank you to Mercurial Oz.
Thank you.
Thank you to Mike the Lurker.
Thank you.
Thank you to Mr. Tell your wife how many Patreon subscriptions you have before you agree to buy a house. Mm-hmm. Thank you to musical guest Rob Ritchie.
Thank you.
Thank you to No One Can Hear You Scream and Space McNulty.
Thank you. Is that it?
That's it.
You said it like there was more. I was on the edge of my seat. Edge of my seat, Tom. Hey, so Warner Brothers says it's going to lose about 300 to 500 million so far due to the strike this year.
Yeah.
Seems like they should just pay people.
Yeah, seems like it'd be a lot easier to just pay people.
I have literally nothing else to say about it.
It's just
Good?
funny
Good
coming.
is my
Yeah, it's coming off of like Zaslav a few weeks ago being like, oh, actually, the strike and not paying these residuals and has saved us $100 million, and he was
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
cover. Yeah, we didn't
also-
we didn't pay $100 million, but we lost 300 to 500
It's
million.
one. Yeah, it's one of those things they say where they're like, "Woe is us" or something, and then you just are like, "That's a fraction of what the writers were asking for." Like they think they're saying something. It's like Elon Musk blaming the fucking what's it called for? He's like it slash
League.
Thank you. Yeah, and he's like, it's only worth like $4 billion now, or he did like some percentage, and then people were like, "Wow, so you paid way too much for it, huh?" Like that was really what we got out of it. Is like, wow, you really fucking drove this site into the ground, because obviously they aren't the reason. So you're just like publicly saying, "Yeah, I cost Twitter so much money." This is the same vibes to me, where they're like, "Oh, woe is us. We lost this much money." It's like, wow, you had that much money? You could have paid the writers, huh?
Many times over.
Yeah, you $500 million in a year.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah,
that's $500 million.
Yeah, fuck, man, pay your writers. Should we talk about? I have this news about Stray being adapted to a film, to which I say, cool.
Yeah, that's cool. That's that video game where you get to play as a cat.
Okay. Yeah,
that's fine.
It was a fun little short game. I wish you. I honestly, I'm not going to complain about the game. I enjoyed it. But the final thing we alluded to was there was this like expose about Rotten Tomatoes. The surprising part was that they clearly had a little grift going on, where there was like a PR firm that was using like indie bloggers to basically like elevate scores of movies.
By indie bloggers, you mean it's people reviewing movies for like either their personal websites or YouTube channels or podcasts, or for like publications that have like 100 readers. Like Rotten Tomatoes used to be much more selective about what reviews would count in the score, but they recently relaxed those rules. Some people think there's chicanery involved there, but like now there's this
it's what it's really about is the death of film criticism, because like at first I was like, damn, I'll take money, and then they're paying them $50 a pop, and I was like, wow, well, no, I won't do that for $50.
The thing is they've always done this. Like if you remember, like look at any DVD or just watch any of the old trailers from like the 90s or something, or like the pull quotes that are on the front of really shitty movies like Super Mario Brothers, and it's like, it's a blast, and it's credited to like Jeffrey Bumberfadge, ABC TV Cincinnati. They would do the same thing back then, where they would just find local news people who just like reviewed movies for their local news station and give them some money to give the movie a good review. Hey, you'll see your name in print in the advertisements.
What it is now is like what this expose pointed out, which again, it's kind of like the article, because I read it all, is a lot of it is just like pointing out the obvious things that just had already happened. Yeah. Like it wasn't like the secrets behind it, because the way Rotten Tomatoes works, as we talked about, is like literally 100% on Rotten Tomatoes could be a movie that got all 3 out of 5 stars. So like if it breaks a certain limit where it's like it basically does a pass fail, as we talked about. Mm-hmm. So 100% on Rotten Tomatoes doesn't mean it's 100% good. It just means 100% of critics thought it wasn't terrible. That's all it means. And so like by getting critics to say it's okay, and then it's that plus the fact that, due to the internet, like you're saying, there was so many, like I used to read film reviews in my local paper, right? And it's like, who's that clown? But I got to know that clown, right?
Yeah.
And over time, I knew like if they liked this movie, I would too. Right. Or vice versa.
Yeah.
But you get the way critics used to work is you used to get to know them. And then there were famous worldwide, your Siskel's and your Eberts. And so
your
like
Maltin and your
yeah.
Gene Shalit.
And your Gene
Shalit. Your Gene Shalit. And so like, that's how it used to work. And now there's like red letter media. So there's like, I would argue there are still like bigger critics out there. But for the most part, as they're pointing out that like most studios now, they're just like, get a number. We want that Rotten Tomatoes score to look high, so that instead of having like Ebert says this is good, all they have to do is say it's a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes, even though that is a meaningless fucking thing to say.
Right.
And audiences are now, and I mean, I do it too. We all do it. You check Rotten Tomatoes and you go, well, it's got a big score. That might mean it's good.
Yeah.
So like, it's just completely changed how film criticism has gone, right? In a way that I would argue kind of killed it, but
yeah,
also
it's just. I mean, I think it's just another symptom of studio filmmaking right now, and kind of we're at critical mass with the strikes and stuff. And I think this system is part of it because it's another like distillation of the creative process into just a metric that can just be plugged into things like, oh, this it has this percent, so it means it's this percent good.
Yeah, I would definitely argue that film critique in general doesn't need to exist, and I'm fully aware that that's something we do on this network.
Yeah.
But like, I do think that I would rather it be at least a better version if it's going to exist at all, right? Because like I there's other things, right? Like if a Marvel film sucks, no one's going to listen to the critics saying it sucked because everything's brands, right? Yeah. So it's like the Marvel people are going to see it either way. If a movie is hype, if it's new Indiana Jones, because the fact that it's all like sequels and remakes and reboots, so it's all this like properties that people are like, they're riding the hype for. So if you say like, oh, the new Indiana Jones sucks, people go like, well, it's Indiana Jones, I'm going to see it. So it's almost like film critique is irrelevant too, for many reasons, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of dead.
A little bit. But we soldier on.
Well, here's the thing. Here's my argument. So I enjoy like a Red Letter Media video every now and then. I'm not watching that to know whether or not I'm going to watch the movie. I'm watching it because it's funny. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I like to think people do the same with us here, where it's like,
I hope so.
You're going to see the movie either way. You might not agree with us, and who are we? You know?
Right,
ultimately,
we don't know anything.
Yeah, so it's more of like, just, I mean, I'm sure if some people have learned, much like I did with that local newspaper person, that, you know, whether or not our opinions match. So I'm sure it's nice for that, but
yeah,
I like to think it's just, you know, something for people to listen to. Yeah, it's
just
the same with Cracked, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's the same with Cracked, where it's like the movie observations. People, you guys are so nitpicky, and it's like, yeah, it's really just, it's a conduit in which to deliver like fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We're engaging with the art still.
Oh yeah.
Like it's part of engaging with it. It's part of interacting with it, experiencing it, if you will.
Yeah, I think what it is there's nothing wrong with the actual film critique itself. It's that as an industry has kind of like died.
Yeah, it really has been distilled into a quantifiable thing. I mean, there were star systems before that. You know, obviously Siskel and Ebert had a pass-fail metric.
Get their little thummies.
But like, all nuance is removed from a score based. So it really is kind of just like nobody reads the reviews. They're just they read a number. Fodder for this metric.
Yeah,
give me 2 characters. That's all the space I have is
right. And that's the thing is like, it's funny how this is where it's like you could say like, no one has time for it anymore. But it's like, yeah, people have time for like Instagram and social media. And that is true. But like, I would argue going on like TikTok for young people is more fun than reading some fucking review, right? Like it's taking the things that we used to read and sit when we were like taking a dump. And now we have our phones. So it like film critique, it's like, well, give me a podcast or give me a number. Like I'm not going to read a fucking review. Just give me a fucking number. I don't know. Yeah. Fun fact, the thumbs for Siskel and Ebert symbolize their penises, whether or not the movie made them
whether or not
they
were rock hard or totally
not.
flaccid.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a little known
That's
fact.
actually how, they invented thumbs up, thumbs down.
Let me Google that right now.
Mm-hmm. No.
Yeah, just that is a verifiably true fact.
Yeah.
Shall we move on?
Yeah, I guess. Let's thank some more producers.
Let's do
Big
it.
old thank you to Norm from Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to Pete Fort Pagel.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Numinal Ultramicroscopic Silico-Volcanoconiosis Anti-Disestablishmentarianism Jones.
Thank you.
Thank you to Pre-Order TikTok superstar Jason Parge's new book, Zoe is Too Drunk for This Dystopia. Pre-orders are super important. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to RevMD.
Thank you.
Thank you to Ricky Cilantro.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Rosemary's Baby from Eraserhead.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you to Screaming Horse Pyramid.
Don't do that to horses.
Thank you to Sorry Cop, world's most laughable centrist.
Thank you.
Thank you to Steven.
Thank you.
Thank you to the conveniently placed self-destruct button on the top of every baby's head.
Thank you.
Thank you to the Midnight Patron, what patrons at midnight.
Thank you. All right, let me jump in here. Thank you to the Oatmeal Savage.
Thank you.
Thank you to the producer formerly known as the Ghost of Dave Thomas.
Thank you.
Thank you to the Tubi Terror Bunny says support workers. A. David Zaslav.
Thank you.
Thank you to these 7 Bees.
Thank you.
Thank you to Tiger George Pratt Thompson. Raindrops keep falling on my head.
Thank you.
Thank you to Tip Drizzle.
Thank you.
Thank you to Tux.
Tux.
Thank you to Vincent with a Y.
Vincent.
Thank you to Why Don't You Take a Flying Fuck at the Moon?
Thank you.
Thank you to Your Mom.
Thank you.
And thank you to Zzz, because Pie Guy liked being last.
Thank you.
Dave.
Yeah.
We're at the end of the show. We've come to the end of it.
Who goes there?
And before we can all go home, I just need to ask you one more thing.
Okay.
Do you have a movie that deserves more hype?
Okay. The answer's yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I do. I really do.
Sounded so resigned about it, I guess.
I know. I'm sad to say I don't know when this is going to come out. It's just coming into festivals to the point that I couldn't find a review for it. But the trailer and premise looked good. This is called Working Class Goes to Hell, which I think is a takeoff. There's at least a movie called Working Class Goes to Heaven. So that's why it's called that.
Yeah.
This is, what is it, Serbian? I'm asking you for some reason.
It's definitely in Russian. I don't know.
I believe it's a Serbian
I
film.
recognize some
Serbian
Russian
director.
It's about
Sweet.
it's about a town, like a factory town, and there's a union, and there's a factory fire, and basically the union is, they're pissed. They're fighting for like reparations for this fire, and one assumes they go on strike, and they turn to the devil. Which sounds cheesier than the movie's making out to be. They turn to like the dark arts, basically, and they perform a ritual to, I assume, kill the factory man. I think they pay a terrible price. Things go like really demonic. It seems from the trailer. There's like weird orgies and like I don't know. It starts getting real fucked up. It's a satire. It's my assumption is it's about, because I was like, I made a couple things where it's like, is it about like, oh, don't go too far as a like, like striking, but I don't think it's like anti-strike. I think it's more about the fact that if you're in the working class, like strikes are not just disruptive to the company, but for your own lives, right? Because you're not getting paid. And it's sort of about like the lengths we have to go, sort of damning ourselves to get justice from the working class. That's what I assume it's about. But looking at the director's previous stuff, they seem like kind of satirical and shit. What do you guys think of this trailer?
It was interesting.
I thought it was, it looked like plenty of choices were made. So I was like, well, that's good.
It's a fascinating idea,
Yeah, I really like the idea. I think you're probably right. I mean, you can't. It's tough to tell with the trailer. Obviously, but like,
right. And I don't think it doesn't necessarily need to have a message.
No,
it
is just kind of like a funny idea. Of just these people whose backs are so totally against the wall. They're just like, well, fuck it. They're not listening to anything. Let's try this. Let's try this spell. Maybe that'll work.
To Satan. Yeah. Yep. And then they're like, wow, that worked.
Guess it worked. Yeah.
Fuck, man. That's funny. I hope like the demon is like one of the Dropkick Murphys. Like it's just just some Boston guy talking about the fucking factory man. I want that for them. I want Boston Demon from Boston.
I think that's probably. It looks like that's probably the level of demon they conjured with the setup they had.
It feels
Real
that
Boston
way.
Demon.
It definitely feels like they're not getting like a premier demon from the setup
probably
they
not.
have.
Probably not.
They're getting the B team of hell.
In a Red Sox hat.
Yeah.
They're getting the economy demon.
Yeah. He's doing what he can. Smoking a cigarette. Fucking like,
Losing
this
his hair.
donkey is here?
It's a balding demon.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
I want that. I want that for everyone. So yeah, just working class goes to hell. Like I said, no reviews, so maybe it's a real piece of shit. But it looks, I don't know, it looks interesting. It's gonna go to like good festivals, like prestigious. Not that means much, but
Yeah.
you know, and the description is from TIFF. You know,
Oh, sure.
TIFF.
Yeah. I know TIFF.
Yeah, y'all know TIFF. So, looks fucking real weird. Check out the trailer.
Yeah.
And that is, I was gonna try to find something. Someone suggested find a movie that deserved more hype from 1983, but I was like, how do I even fucking begin to do that? Because it's like, unless I remember a movie from 1983 that no one else does.
Might.
But honestly, I feel like we have like several already on this list.
Yeah.
Nightmares.
Deathstalker
Mortuary.
would have been my option, and I haven't even seen
Yeah.
it yet. But
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
throwing all my chips down on Deathstalker.
Yeah. It's hard because
No,
it's
wait,
like,
Revenge of the Ninja. Oh shit.
oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Like when did The Thing come out? Was
82.
82. Like that's technically a movie that deserved more hype in
Yeah.
82.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, not now. So, I don't know. My point is movies.
Yeah. They're back.
Yeah.
I think we can be done now that the movies are back. I think that's a sold.
Woo.
Woo! We did it. We did it,
Woo.
guys. We struck and we cast.
We struck and we cast.
Justin, thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah.
thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
My number almost died yet.
Yeah. Not yet.
You want to do more pluggies? Plug it again?
Yeah, so my website is Artness by Justin Brown, ARTNESS by JustinBrown.com. I have a store on there with all sorts of stuff, and you can get t-shirts on there through TeePublic. And if you want to buy something in person, I'm going to be at Superstar Comic-Con, which is in Savannah, Georgia, September 23 and 24th. And then GalaxyCon in Columbus, Ohio in December 1st through the 3rd, I believe.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody check that shit out.
And of course, all
Check
the
it right
logos
out.
on, Gamefully Unemployed podcast.
Yeah.
You just stare at those for free.
Yeah, for now. We might start charging.
Just really get all wistful at him.
Yeah. There's a couple levels to them, so.
Well, hidden stuff. You're like, it's like the Sistine Chapel, right? You're like putting a lot of stuff about God
Real
and
Da
stuff
Vinci
like
Code,
in there.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of Easter eggs in there for the devotees.
We have a Patreon, Tom. Did you know? It's
I did.
Patreon.com/Gamefully Unemployed. You go on there, you pay just $5 a month, just $5, and you get all of our exclusive podcasts. Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Star Trek The Next Futurama, Spiel Boys. Those are all there just for $5 a month. If you want to kick in a little more, you can watch movies with us every Friday night. We also have a Discord community you can be a part of. A lot of delightful folks on there, and then other tiers. So go give it a little gander.
Yeah, check that out.
Yeah.
Also, we have a store. Head over to GamefullyUnemployed.com. You can find a link to our Teespring store. Where we have all kinds of cool original artwork and designs you can get on T-shirts, mugs, stickers, posters, all sorts of things. So check that out. Mm-hmm. Slap your little what ninja revenging peepers onto that.
Oh yeah, or your little Boston demon
Boston
peepers.
demon peepers.
Deathstalking
Yeah.
peepers.
death stalking. We all have our own little peepers in this world. You know?
Whichever peepers you want, honestly. It's up to you.
Yeah. Whatever peepers you worship, you know?
Yeah. Whichever.
It's not up to us.
Whichever peeper's house you choose to keep.
Exactly.
Oh, man. All right.
Bye.
Say goodbye, everyone. Bye. Bye. Our music is produced by Chris Corlew. You can follow him on Twitter at @thecorlew, Corlew, and find more music at shipwreckedsailor.bandcamp.com. Our channel artwork is produced by Michael Vincent Bramley. You can find more of his artwork at instagram.com/mvbramleyart. Our episode artwork is produced by Justin Brown. You can follow him on Twitter at @JustinTBrown and find more of his artwork at artnessbyjustinbrown.com and justinbrown.info.